All right. I was laughing too hard here. I'm pulling everyone up on the stage because we can actually get everybody on the stage. We're not going to go live on LinkedIn, so we're going to have a little bit of fun. And you're should be getting some responses there. Turn on your cameras, and I think I can put 12 or so people on the stage if we want to, because we can do this networking here, have some fun, get everybody on the road, talk about what we're doing in the future here. And hopefully Andrew can get here onto the stage with a phone. I don't know if we've been able to do that before.
No, I'm here.
Yep. Oh, Mark's here too. Mark's here. Awesome. Bring Mark up. I think we can get 10. I don't know how many people. We got 10 people in here now, so we can get everyone in. Mark, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Damon?
Fine. Well, Andrew Deutsch was just telling the funniest damn story. I was about peeing myself just listening to the pieces that I did.
I'm sorry I missed it. What was it?
You'll see when it gets here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't tell him.
Yeah. Andrew, oh God, he can't get up here. He had to drop off. Oh.
It says please invite. He's
sent
a chat.
I don't see him again. What the heck? Go back. Oh yeah. I'll do it. Well, let me get it back here. I'm gonna get participants. Do you see him, Andrew? You see Andrew Deutsch? Can you bring him up? I don't see him on.
He's on mobile. He says won't let me in on mobile.
Yeah, it was showing. It was showing him before. Oh, there he is. Now you should be able to come up, Dan. I see you on the screen again. Let's do this. I'll try turning him off and try turning him back on again. There we go.
Andrews comes a knocking.
Hopefully. Darn, the mobile might not work. What did I see in the chat?
I don't think it does.
Oh, darn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How do we get him up here? We got to be able to do this because it was just too damn funny. Holy buckets. Because we can't put 10 of us at a table. And if he can't come to stage, it was so hilarious.
Let me drop off and see if
No, that's not it. Andrew's story was okay. So I'll just tell you, he was helping his daughter move, and she lives in an interesting area. That's what I'll say.
I hear air quotes.
Yeah. And he was remarking about how gotta get Dan Baker back up here again. I don't know why he dropped out, but yeah, he said that and we're not live. So he said that the people down the street had the blue meth, the good stuff. And he did it like this with his phone. It was pretty funny. But anyway, enough of that. Sorry about that, Andrew. If you weren't on mobile, you would be up here with us, laughing and having a good time. So we got Dan back up here. So, hey, thanks everyone for joining us today. We didn't know. We know we're getting into summertime. We know how this is going. We wanted to announce a couple things. We wanted to talk about have a good time for people to network today, and get through a couple things, talk about a few things, and then look towards the future, because what we're going to be doing with the roundtable is making some changes, hopefully positive changes. I'll be talking with some of you about these, but basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be moving to a bi-weekly format. We're going to be on the first Thursday and third Thursday of the month. So we're a little bit less time. We're going to be cutting it to 1 hour. So we've got 1 hour. It's going to open a few minutes, 15 minutes before, stay open a little bit later if people want to hang around and talk before or after. But we're going to be doing that. The second thing we're going to do is the format of the program is going to change a bit. We're going to try to get some speakers that have more of a presence or an audience that we would tend to maybe have to pay to go see, and try to do that. Try to get at least one of those 2 a month is going to be more into that. And we're going to have specific topics around business we're going to cover in a given month. Like we may be talking sales this month, wealth planning the next month, financial, whatever the next month, and work through those kind of details. And then try to build more of a community around it, maybe, and really try to look for your input on that as to how we can solidify the community, solidify getting more business that's transferring around as appropriate between the people in the community, and doing those kind of things. So pretty excited about that. We are going to take a break. This is the last one we're going to have until August 5th. I think it is August 5th, the first Thursday of August. We're going to get a speaker announced. We're going to, and probably by the middle of July, and we're going to, is Andrew still telling him? I see Dan, he's running.
Gotta bring him back up.
Okay, I'll try him again.
Still bullet free.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Here we go. Try him one more time. And we're going to make a few internal changes too that are going to hopefully make it easier to see what's going on. We're going to lay the speakers out much earlier. We're going to make long-term invites for these, so it'll be on your calendar for hopefully through the end of the year when we send the next ones out. And so you can disregard, drop it off if you can't make it. If you can make it, great. But we want to make it simple for people to find it and get on, and those kind of things. What else, Andrew? I was trying to think of that stuff first and get through that.
Yeah. Takes care of the house cleaning.
Yes, takes care of that part of it. And I got as I got a document here. I'll make sure I didn't forget anything. So without further ado, then we have a new person joining us today, Jessie Todisco. So Jessie, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you're helping people, where you're from, that kind of stuff.
The great, powerful Alon Zybert invited me here, but I don't see him, so he kind of just left me to the wolves. So
yeah,
I'm from Boston, but I live in Atlanta, Georgia. I run 3 businesses. The first one is a financial planning firm called 46 and 2 Wealth Partners. We're a fee-only financial planning firm, so we operate as a fiduciary. We don't charge commissions. We don't sell products or services. We just help entrepreneurs and executives create a quality life that leads to happy wealth. The second thing I do is a podcast called the Jessie T Show, and it highlights entrepreneurs, thought leaders, creators, athletes, and authors, and shares their journey with the world. Syndicated in 12 cities, can be heard around the world, and we're going on our 3rd year. And we have people just share their journey that can inspire people, give them tools and insights on how to level up in relationships, business, health and wellness, spirituality, all these things that I'm into. And then the last thing is a retreat business that we host every quarter. And it's a spiritual retreat business, things like ecstatic dance and breath work and plant medicines. And we go all around the world, and we help people heal and grow and realize a better way of life.
Very cool. Very cool. All right. We got Jill here today too. Awesome.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right. Well, Jessie, thanks for being here today. Make sure to drop your LinkedIn in the chat. Other people will connect with you there. And feel free to reach out to any of us here on the call today and just to get to know them and do that. You're in Atlanta. We got a lot of people on the East Coast, Dan, Josh, Mark in the Midwest there. And we a lot more that these people know that probably could connect with you. So awesome. Well, I think today, this is going to be what we're going to do, our monthly professional networking. And what I'd like to do for the benefit of Jessie is to do a quick run around the room and just go, okay, a little bit about what you do. But what we want to do is describe your ideal client. Describe your ideal client. So, Dan, since you're transitioning, tell us about your new firm and that.
I'm still learning about my new firm, but yeah, I figure I'm the director of sales and marketing at Chenango Valley Technologies for now. I'm moving my family south from New York to Hilton Head, South Carolina in August. And I'm starting a new position with a custom plastic extrusion company called Custom Profile in July. So a lot of things going on, but the company I'm going to be working for has 3 plants, one in Michigan, one in South Carolina, and one in Mexico, all ISO certified clean rooms, value added services all over the place. So it's a big jump. I'm jumping from a $5 million company to a $50 million company, doing all the business development for them. And I'm just thrilled to death to get started.
Cool.
Congrats.
Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. That's awesome. Good news. Good news for sure. And you're moving to a cool place.
I would be living 5 minutes from the beach. So
yeah, that's going to be nice. That'll be nice. All right. Well, Dan, great to have you here today. Grant, tell us a little bit about yourself and then what you're doing. Ideal customer.
Thank you. What we're doing is working. It's related to what you just said, Dan. We're looking for better polymers. We're in the hotel space. We're working to get these plastic bottles that the amenities come into something that's more landfill degradable and take responsibility for end of life of those products. And our ideal customer is somebody with the bandwidth who cares. So that's usually women over 30. That's the kind of the portal, but men care too. It's just not as many.
Yeah. Yep. Understandably so. Yeah. Cool. Well, it's great to have you here today, Grant. And yeah, you're developing clean skincare products in bottles that break down in the landfills over time. So that's nice when you consider that plastics don't really break down normally.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Good stuff. Well, Grant, great to have you. Jacob Warren, our resident beard expert. Although Jessie came with a strong entry, I just have to say.
His is a lot groomed a lot better.
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm Jacob Warren, and then we essentially do technology management for small to mid-sized businesses, and everything from cybersecurity to data management to both public and private cloud solutions. Ideal client is a professional service organization, manufacturing, and those of you that have some type of regulatory requirement that need to make sure that you're in compliance from a technology standpoint.
Very good. Very good. Yep. And that's keeping people secure and keep their data healthy.
Yeah. And their beards looking nice.
There you go. There you go. Awesome. Well, great to see you today, Jacob. Jill, wonderful seeing you from the warm city of Portland.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Are you guys going to get that heat this weekend too?
Yep. It's supposed to be, well, for here, record temperatures. It's going to be 103, I guess, in Seattle.
Wow.
So
yeah, we're supposed to be 111.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as global warming.
No, it's such a myth, right? Man, thank God for air conditioning.
yeah, no doubt. That's for sure. So Jill, tell us how you're helping people.
Oh my goodness. I love helping people, specifically small business service providers. I work with them to develop their staff and employees from average to amazing, which is going to bring more certainty for the future of the organization. And I get to do it without any service disruption. So business gets to keep on going, and yet we get to help them grow.
Awesome. Well, great to have you here today, Jill. I am going to read the article you sent me. I saw it early today when I got on. I will do that.
Yeah.
And just wonderful having you. So we do have a couple more people that came in. So Dan and Grant and Jacob, I'm going to drop you back to tables, and so we can bring on Brad and Andrew and stuff and do that. And then we will move to Josh, because Josh, it is Josh, first of all, I just have to say I had the greatest Father's Day ever this year because it was COVID free. My family is over 21 years old, so that we could go to what I like to do, brewery hopping. We hit 2 breweries and had a wonderful day. So, and one of them was not as bad as Andrew Deutsch's, where Andrew Deutsch was today, but there were bars on the windows all around us. So it was interesting.
We have a brewery tour around Seneca Lake, New York, which is one of the Finger Lakes up here on Saturday, and I think we're trying to hit 8 breweries.
Oh God, no, that's way too much for me.
Yeah. Fortunately, my wife doesn't like beer, so she's automatically the DD. So,
boom. There you go.
That's fun.
There you go. Well, tell us a little bit about Josh and what you do.
Yeah, so I'm Josh. I'm COO and partner at Protocol 80. We're an inbound marketing agency located in Bradford, PA. We help manufacturing clients with their lead generation and sales. We do a lot of content writing, SEO, PPC, HubSpot onboarding. So our ideal client would be like Dan's new company there, manufacturer that's 30 to 300 million in annual revenue, usually going to be somewhere in the supply chain, second, third, sometimes an OEM.
Yeah. I was thinking that same thing. It's interesting that Dan's moving to that company. Never know.
Perfect.
Good stuff. Well, I'm sure you guys will talk about that. And we've got just checking the chat here to make sure. Good. So, all right. I think we got everybody up here now. We're going to I'm going to put Jessie back on the table. So, Mark, tell us a little bit more about yourself today.
Sure. I'm a fractional COO. I'm based in Chicago, and I've been at it since about November. It's hard for me to describe my ideal client because I'm not sure I found that person yet, or that company. But I would say that it's a company in the $5 to $10 million range that definitely has revenue, that's looking to grow and needs help. Usually, this is a visionary founder who needs help with clarifying, goals and strategy, and then on the execution side. From an EOS framework standpoint, I'm an integrator. And, I've got one client that's taking about half my time right now. So I've got, at least 2 days a week for other clients. And that's what I'm looking for. My background's in e-commerce too. So ideally an e-commerce client would be great. And my background there, Damon, as we've discussed, is pretty broad. So that's product development, customer service, operations, scaling for operations, as well as digital marketing.
Yep. Good stuff, Mark. And yeah, your experience is very unique and very applicable in that. So awesome to have you here today. So Professor Pete, how are you today?
I'm great, Damon. I'm actually looking forward to the warm weather because, it's nice to have a little bit of a change once in a while.
Yeah. Well, how warm will it actually get at your house? So it won't get.
I suspect it'll be in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, but have also the wind to keep it down a little bit. But that's maybe the first time in, oh gosh, at least 9 months that I might turn on the air conditioner.
There you go. Ours has been on a bit already, but it is interesting in the Northwest when it hits 100 degrees. People think that that we're gonna spontaneously combust.
I know. It's ridiculous because when I was in California a couple of weeks ago, and I just escaped the boiling temperature there, and it was funny. I got up here and it was 80, and people go, "Oh, it's so hot," and I'm thinking, are you kidding me?
Yeah. And then there's Brad that actually does live in the pit of fire, so to speak. So tell us a little bit, Pete, about how you're helping people and who your ideal client is today.
Sure, Damon. So most of you know, I'm, in addition to being the host of the popular Winning at Business and Life podcast, I'm the president of Office Plants by Everything Grows in the San Francisco Bay Area. And we help companies reduce stress, improve productivity, and receive outstanding ROI through the methodical design and placement of lush living plants in work environments. And so our a great lead for us would be a company, high tech or whatever it happens to be in the San Francisco Bay Area. So San Francisco, Oakland, San Jose, any of the surrounding areas. And if it has 20 or more employees that are coming into the office at least part-time during the week, they would be a great lead for us.
Okay. Bay Area, 20 or more office staff.
Correct.
There you go. Good. Well, that's awesome to have you here today. Great seeing you again. And I got to say that your posts on Facebook about your hikes the last week or so have been awesome. You've done some pretty nasty hikes. So it's good.
I did. I'm actually, yesterday's made me think that I might have to reconsider getting that helicopter insurance to get me out.
Yep. That looked like that was quite a hike. If people don't know, you need to go visit Pete to go hiking. If you really want to hike where you can go, it's only miles from your house, isn't it? It's not very far.
Right. I live in Hiker's Paradise near the Olympic National Park.
Yeah. Good stuff. Thanks for being here today.
So
Brad,
Yep.
Awesome seeing you today. How are things in sunny and warm Las Vegas?
Exactly that. Sunny and warm. We actually had a little bit of rain yesterday. It was amazing. It's like, oh, there's clouds up there. It looks like the Northwest, but it's going to go. It stopped pretending to be Portland for a while. And today we're back to the wandering up to the triple digits. So
yeah,
I think we'll hit that easily. At any rate, it makes me miss the Northwest and where it's cooler. It's like, guys, I'm just going to go get a house on the Oregon beach and just be happy,
Yeah, no doubt.
That's the long-term plan.
Yeah. So. Yeah. We were there about a month ago, and man, every time you go there and stay there, it's just, I think that all the time is, if you haven't been to the Oregon coast, you should try it. or Northern California too, but those are good. So Brad, tell us a little bit about how you're helping people and your ideal client.
My ideal client is a business owner actually, or CEO for a company that is hopefully English speaking, because that's the only language I work with, and somewhere between 5 million and up, who is ambitious, curious, and realizes they don't have all the answers, so they want someone to confer with. What I have found, my expertise is I listen more deeply than they know themselves, so that I pull out the things that they're trying to wrestle with to articulate. In other words, I have these issues, I don't know how to solve these four, and this is what I know about them, and what I do is I help them literally pull out of their subconscious, if you would, the articulation for the thing that feels right to them. And then we put that into place, we experiment with it, we play with it, and literally doing that over a period of time will open up the options of adding anywhere from doubling their business growth to adding zeros on a consistent basis. And that is just like one of the most exciting things I've done.
Yeah. Good stuff, Brad. Great to have you here today. And
good to see you.
It's always exciting to hear about you adding zeros. I think about that conceptually, and adding zeros to businesses is a big deal.
It's the change from a $5 million company to a $50 million company has 2 steps in it, minimum. The change from a $50 million company to a $500 million company has about 4 steps in it. And you have to literally go through and change the mindset of the leader, of the executive team, and of the whole culture. But once you set the foundation character, which you can do at 5 million, you can hold those things all the way up, but it's the outside stuff that needs it. But inside out is how we do the work.
Awesome. Good stuff, man. Such valuable stuff for when you're thinking about scaling and really getting your mindset ready for that growth, because that's a lot of what presents it over time. We don't think we can do what we can do.
That's the fun part.
Yeah. All right. So Andrew Cross, why don't you talk a little bit about Exit Your Way and what we're doing?
Yeah. Well, like Brad's doing, we want to work with guys like Brad to come in and we like our client, our perfect client is a business owner that treats his business like an investment and realizes I got a target and I want to hit it. And instead of just trying to get through week to week, has a plan, and then we come in and try and help them execute that and add a zero. So, well, that's yeah, and that's it's a great thing to see. Yeah, when it's in action like that. So that's why we hang around with folks like Brad.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, I'll add to that just for a second. I mean, we've got a fun project that we're working on now with a client that actually we're going to combine 3 to 5 businesses together into one and sell them all as one entity, because what happens is there's smaller ones banding together and there's one larger one that actually can do back office operations and other things for the other ones that are folded into it. We're actually not going to do transactions probably to do any money swaps on these first ones, but in essence, we're going to create a business that will double the value for everybody that's in participating in it, because we'll be able to take the average multiple that these people get on their profitability from about 4 to 6 or 7. And this is the kind of stuff that we do that's really not typical in investment banking. Is we started with this person, I don't know, almost a year ago now, talking with them about their business and how COVID was affecting it. And it's transformed into, I want to sell my business, into now I want to roll it up so I can make more money and I can help the people I work with make more money. And we're going to be able to make a better business overall. So this is the kind of stuff that we really like to do, because we can help people realize more money either through growing their business, working with someone like Brad or other people that are doing specific e-commerce, manufacturing kind of sales growth stuff, or like we're doing with this, is just really facilitating and helping them. How do you do this? How do you integrate these things together? How do you get the synergies on the backside of this to really drive profitability increases? How do you help the top line grow? And then how do you ultimately exit it and realize the money increase, the value increase? It's a tremendous amount of fun. We love being able to do it. And that's, oh yes, there is a synergy between the 5, Brad. They're all doing complementary work. They refer work to each other now, or they do different pieces of the same kind of work. And we're actually adding more bolt-ons and competitors to it. So basically they'll be able to whoever buys this will be able to lock up a region in this kind of thing. So it's one of these things that we really like to do because it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. It's taking, it's taking the big boy play for what the equity group's do. And these are not big businesses, but they're going to realize a drastic return by putting this together on this roll up.
Yep. And just briefly, one of the things that we're doing that might be a little unique, we're actually talking to the investment buyers that will potentially be buying it and asking them, what does this look like for you to be the best deal for you to walk into? So we're not only just talking to the business sellers, we're talking to the buyers, and we're going to make this thing look like they want it. I mean, down to the point that we got into the details yesterday in a 2-hour conversation with not 2 hours, it was an hour, but conversation with a business buyer that buys in this industry, in this this specific kind of business. If we put these together, what do you need to see? What do you like to see for the future? What do you like to see for the management team? What are the kind of diligence things that you see hanging this up? I mean, we get into that level of detail to be able to do it. So I'll digress on that for a moment. And it is fun. It is fun when you get to work on that. We don't get to do that a ton. But good stuff. Wonderful having everybody here today. Thanks so much for sharing once again. Like I said, we're going to be making some changes to the format of the show, to the kinds of speakers. What we're going to do, I'm pretty excited about speakers, right? Because if we're going to talk about marketing, say, we may bring a marketing, somebody that's got a big name in marketing might come and talk with us. And what we're really going to do around this is try to find names that are big enough that they'll have their own draw of people that would be other business owners that might be able to come in that someone like any of you might be interested in talking with, and really focus on that and bringing the speakers in and come. And then the format will change a little bit too. We're going to have some are going to be panel discussions, so that if we were talking about marketing per se, maybe Josh is on the panel asking some questions about it because he knows it really well, or Mark's on the panel, or other people we bring in are on the panel. Or if we bring in somebody from, say, even like Troy Niehaus and those guys at Bernstein, they've got these economics people and other things that we can talk about, tax people, all these that we can bring in from a company like that. And then maybe have, like, Jesse might be on Jessie Todisco because he's a wealth planner, might be on there, and Troy and other people that are financial people that are asking questions on a panel to really extract information that they would think that was beneficial to a business owner in these, $5 to $100 million businesses, and really try to focus on things that provide value for the entire group and those business owners overall to continue to attract and provide good, solid information. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to we're going to increase our overall outbound marketing efforts a little bit, and our inbound marketing efforts a little bit on the show, to try to bring more new people into it, so we can continue to have that. I mean, we've had, I think when I look at the numbers of people, we've had a few hundred different people that have attended to it. Obviously, when we started, it was a lot of people were just trying to figure out what the hell COVID was doing, right? And now we really want to move into more of we are going to want to be a good source of information that is relevant to this business owner that is running a multi-million-dollar business. And we want to have speakers. We want to be able to give the people on here opportunities to interact with those people, and bring more of them in, so we can see more of the connections, like today, that, just the possibility of Dan and Josh working together, I think is really cool. And I know I'm not saying anything in stone, but I think, if we had a room with 10 or 20 business owners in here, or the executives in those businesses, this thing is what we want to create. We want to create it where an executive will come here because they feel it's worth their time to come here, and it's not where they're going to be sold or anything like that. So where we're going to actually get to know them, and they're going to get some good information and those kind of things. And then if it works out down the road, they do business. But that is my thought here. I was going to talk a little bit about the return to work. And I know across the country, we're all returning to work at various levels, but I was hoping to get a bit of smattering from people across the that are listening across the country here, to really talk about what you see business looking like 6 months from now or a year from now, so that we can be looking at those kind of trends and really capitalizing on them. And one of them was two places I was thinking about in B2B sales. and go ahead and hit the chat with that if you want to come up and talk more. We got more room on here. But my thought was on B2B sales, do you think that the virtual experiment that we've had to go through in the past year has really changed it so that there's going to be a fair amount of the initial B2B sales that is going to be done virtually and kind of altering the way that the sales process works? So virtual is going to be good for the initial meeting and maybe even getting up to the deal stage or something like that. And I'm talking bigger deals. And then it's going to be meeting when it's appropriate to do the final close of a deal, or what do you guys, what do you hear? What do you think?
So Damon, I can talk about it from our perspective. So usually when we get a lead, our reps will go and make a sales call on site to the customer. And obviously during COVID, a lot of that went away because, if people aren't going into the office, they don't need plants in the office. But now that's come back. And we're seeing a significant uptick in business, a lot of it from customers who closed up and then are coming back, but we're actually getting a lot of new inquiries. And what's interesting is that in some of those proposals, we do a design for where basically we take pictures in the office environment. So the lobby, conference rooms, executive offices, main areas that could use the plants. And then the designer goes ahead and uses software to design digital renditions of this so that people can see what these plants would actually look like in their facility. And what's interesting is that we're seeing some of our prospects who are actually emailing us pictures that we take and actually put it in the in those pictures as opposed to us taking the pictures physically. So there's this, and we've closed some of the deals with that, where we actually physically haven't been in their location yet.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting one. That only happened once prior to COVID. In the, let's see, it's been now 17 years that I've been running the business.
Wow. That's pretty crazy. And that's a great example of two things. I think the change in the way that the process happens, because if they can take their own pictures and send them to you, that saves a step. And then being, virtual closes on your, like you said, you haven't done very many of them, and now it seems to be easier.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So, Josh, I'm curious about your business with you guys doing marketing. Has it always been a close or a virtual kind of thing, or because of the size of clients and the work you do, it was always a personal thing before?
We've seen a lot of shift. I don't know that it was necessarily directly COVID related, because even prior to COVID, we've closed a lot of deals in which we've never even met people in person.
Yeah.
Even, with I've got one client that we have, I don't know, maybe a 10-year relationship retainer, and I've never met them.
Wow.
So I see more of it. I think, when we talk bigger deals and a major shift in business, I think that there's still going to be a need for in-person. But I think everyone's just so much more comfortable. Even people in the manufacturing space, which we thought would never get there, are comfortable with virtual now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's encouraging to hear. And that's why I kind of thought you guys probably have been doing it for a while. It's accepted in your industry more often, but it is cool though that manufacturers are starting to, do business like that as well.
Yeah. One of the things I love though is I love the factory tours. I love learning about those different businesses. So I miss that. And I was able to go on one a couple weeks ago, and it was cool.
Yeah, that's cool. And, it's funny you said that, because someone's actually, I'm going to be doing some videos and they go, "Oh, you want to do it in a factory?" I'm like, Yeah, but I haven't been in a factory for a while now. It's kind of weird almost. But it was that's great. And I understand that personal part of it really allows you to do maybe a bit different work if you understand it more intimately. And that's like Pete was saying, I wonder if we're going to continue to even evolve that more. That we sold a business last year where we had never personally met the business owners. We had never been in their facility where they manufacture the parts, and the buyers never were in there physically before. They never physically met the sellers, and they didn't go to the facility prior to selling and buying the business. And it was all done through video. It was all done through just like this. And, I'm wondering if that will continue, because you think about an efficiency standpoint, when we were talking about a business that was located in the Northwest headquarters, manufacturing was on the East Coast, and the buyer was in Southern California. The logistics of moving all this around, really would have added a lot of cost to them to do the deal. So,
we were kind of, we were forced to do it that way. And then we realized, well, this is just better.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would have had 4 or 5 plane trips on that whole deal.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that client, we'd worked with that client for 2 years and never met him.
Yeah. I got, when I finally got on the Zoom with him, it was already after the acceptance offer. And I was like, oh, hey, that's what you look like.
Yeah, exactly. So Dan, what are you thinking, Dan?
Well, I want to echo what Josh said. Manufacturers just don't get it. They don't understand what they're missing out on. And I talk to a lot of people, and I hear a lot of different stories that they just don't understand how to transition out of what they've always done. But as far as I'm concerned, meeting in person is great, and I love the factory tours just like Josh does. I love seeing Jay Call's videos and things like that. But I don't meet a lot of people that I do business with, but at the same time, I still get personal, and they still get to know me through emails and things like that. And it's all about responsiveness, really. I'm an early riser like Andrew, so I'm up at 4:30 in the morning, starting and doing what I need to do. Going to the office is a tremendous pain in the ass for me. I lose 2 to 3 hours a day of production time. So doing virtual events and getting people on the phone that way, once you do initial discovery and things like that, saves time, and then, once you're, getting to the point where things are going to happen, bringing them to your plant or going to see their plant or however they want that done is beneficial. And I like doing that stuff, but initial discovery and running I actually, one of the tours I just did, I went out and saw Kurt, and I saw 2 or 3 other companies, and that was a 15-hour day to see 4 people. Yeah. But I can contact 50 to 100 people, during a normal business day. It's just a waste of time.
Yeah. Yep. And that's a great point. And I love your perspective, because you're selling for a big, for a company, and you're doing larger B2B transactions. And, because in molding or the extrusion, I mean, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollar deals a lot of times. And it's to be able to do those kind of sales virtually does make you a lot more efficient.
Well, and another point I want to make is just getting people on the phone is a headache. People don't even want to do that anymore. I think people like email for the fact that they can trace through the conversation and go back and reread it. They can answer on their own time. I try to get people on the phone, even for initial discovery, and sometimes it's difficult. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that is always the challenge, or one of them, that's for sure. So Brad, you talked about their kinesthetic. What's that mean? Tend to require in person to build trust.
So kinesthetic is touch.
Okay.
And so if there's like 4 different methods for learning. One is visual, one is auditory, one is kinesthetic, one is didactic. Those are the 4 main ones. And so if you learn with kinesthetics first, which is true for me, then in person is required to build that deep level of trust in order if they feel like there's risk. And if someone is in manufacturing, they're just automatically going to be that type of person because they do things like a mechanic. A car mechanic is kinesthetic. Someone who does strategy is either visual or auditory, mostly visual. And so if someone's in manufacturing, they're just going to be touch oriented, even if you never, other than just shake hands.
Yeah.
But if they tend to be a little bit more visual, then the auditory, the video will work. And so I think what, like Dan was saying, people don't want to talk on the phone anymore. So you'll be able to reach them through emails or LinkedIn messaging and set up. I'm going through a process where I'm setting up conversations with people, and it's almost all LinkedIn connection to flip over into email to flip over into Zoom.
Yeah.
And that's the process. And so what you're doing is you're deepening the trail to how they learn and how they build trust. And the learning style and the trust building style are very, very closely related.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. That's great input. And then that's why it's so valuable to have people with different backgrounds and skill sets on this as we talk through these topics, because that's I didn't realize that, and B, I like your process, and then understanding too, how do you try to do that without meeting those people in person as much as you can?
It takes twice as many phone calls if you're doing, because when I started out my career after I got my bachelor's degree, I was in and you'll love this, Dan, I was in a plastic extrusion plant, and I was responsible for quality control. And so I had 5 different plants across there were direct customers that I had to build a relationship with. I called them on a weekly basis and spent half an hour to an hour on the phone with them for each week. And what I found is after 4 weeks, I'd built up a deep enough relationship with them that it was as if I had been there, but it took me 2 to 3 times as many phone calls as if I just walked in the door and spent an hour with them.
Yeah.
That took that much more.
Yeah, I'd like to add that because we do the same thing with a big client we have here. We have a weekly video call when we just update. Everybody gets on the call that's involved in the project, and we update them on the process and what's going on and where we need help and where they need help. And that it really it's been a nice, easy, the meetings are getting shorter and shorter because the trust is finally getting there. But it does help to do that.
One of the things that we get to do with video is we get to see body language.
Yeah.
Even though we don't consciously register that as part of our trust building process, seeing body language and how people look out of their eyes, we're able to gauge intelligence unconsciously, right? We're gauging their intelligence. We're registering or measuring their emotional capability and actually their honesty. So if they show up on a video and they are rigid, you can tell if they're rigid at how well they take in ideas. You can tell how well they make eye contact, right? And so all of those things are things we used to do in person that we're now learning literally as a world how to do on a video call. And you can and I've done it, you can do a conference call. I've tried to do strategic planning with a group of people you can do it up to 2 people, me and 2 people, so 3 total, right? And then it just blows up. At 4 people, you can't do it, but you can do it on video to some extent, but you only get about 75% of the trust level built with video that you can do in person. So when you get to the place where you've got something and it depends on the level of risk involved. If the level of risk involved and the dollar amounts are high, then they're going to be requiring in person. It's like, do you care enough? Is this, if it's a $300 million deal, they're going to want you there, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And that's what I think too, is there's going to be this hybrid model, right? That you can do a lot of it virtually, but when it comes down to it, the big deal is going to be in person, at least maybe farther down the line. You're building. You're going, yeah, this is the right thing for us. Now it's time to meet, just to, break bread, whatever you got to do. And then you move on.
You laughed at me when I said it before, and I'll say it again, Damon. It's dating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just recently went out to one of my first live events. It's been a while, and it was all focused around sales. There was some presentations. It was just a pretty nice networking event at a shared space down here in Salt Lake. And what I've noticed was, after having been away from that a while, I think that there's an eagerness to do business, right, and in face-to-face business, but there's also a recognition that, and I think part of it is because, man, now we got all these shiny new tools, and we can do business a lot easier. So it's just, I think there's a combination here between the live and doing the Zoom meetings and the calls, and to generate new business kind of stuff. And I think there's more of a reception to, hey, we don't have to follow up with another meeting at my place next. We can do all this. It's more, let's get on a Zoom, and they're like, yeah, let's do that. We'll schedule. And it's not have to explain what Zoom is and those kind of things. We kind of know what we're getting to. And I think people are, I just felt sort of an excitement about that.
Yeah. Yeah. I am too. I'm excited to see what, teleportation. That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
and it's funny because I'm going to digress for just a second. My son, one time when he was about 12, I asked him if there was one superpower, if you could have it. He didn't even, it was just like teleportation came right out of his head. I still laugh at that, but you're right. Teleportation, that would be good.
Well, I was going to add something,
ahead,
Damon. Sounds like you're about to wrap, but I think at least 90% of what I do, I can do remotely. But there's this relational component. I've been carrying on this fractional COO relationship for 8 months, where I think that like the 10%, like just to meet and have a beer together and just chill out and get to know each other would be valuable, especially because in this role you have to challenge the CEO at times, and so there can be friction, and there's some of that is harder to resolve, I think, remotely, like over video. Whereas like let's just sit down and relax and have a beer together, you can make up for a lot of ground that way.
No doubt about that. And those kind of relationships. And then I also look at and we won't go into it much, but the whole, are you going to be a remote first workplace or a hybrid workplace or full in-person workplace? Because when you look across the board and go, okay, well, I've got a professional engineering firm, or I've got a manufacturing firm. There's just so many different ways you could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and then how do you have engagement with your employees and other stuff like that? But awesome input, Mark. Good stuff. Well, I'll let Andrew take it away here, because we're getting to the top of the hour. We want to be, on time with this. It's awesome getting to see you, everyone here today. Appreciate you. Appreciate the relationships we've been able to build. We are going to be back strong in August. It's going to be crazy fun. I'm excited for it. I'm excited. We got some other people helping, Andrew Deutsch and Melissa Worrell, Troy Niehaus, Andrew and myself. And you want to, Brad, jump. See ya. So we're excited about it. We'll see you in August, and I'm excited to keep talking with you guys. We're here. So if you want to just connect up, go ahead. See you later, Grant. See everyone. Andrew, take us away. We're just about to the top of the hour.
Hey, that was a pretty good one right there. We'll see you on the other side, and go add zeros, guys, in between.
Yeah. Awesome. Have a great rest of your week. And great
board. You too.
See y'all.
Yep. Bye.